guys, welcome to Life Unleashed with your host, A.M.A.N.D.A, where you can have a good cry, have a good laugh, judgment-free, talk your shit, and talk your truth, and soon to be your favorite podcast. A little bit about me, again, I'm A.M.A.N.D.A. I have a degree in behavioral health, social work, and soon to be special education. I have a passion for helping people. I counseled for 7 to 8 years with adults, and I'm teaching with young children with disabilities at this time. I'm always in some type of nonprofit organization trying to help out the best way I can. My goal is to help my people help themselves. I come from a background that is not so pretty, but listen, with the choices that you make, anything is possible. And that's why I'm using this platform. That's why I'm using this podcast to try to help people have a voice and change the outcome of their lives. Because just because we were born into it doesn't mean that that's the way we have to live. So stay tuned. On social media, you guys are so transparent and are so welcoming when I'm going on my rants and I'm expressing to you guys how I feel. But that's not always the case. Social media can be so fake. You only see the happy things that go on, the accomplishments that people make. But you never really see what goes on behind the scenes. And this is why I made this podcast, because although everything looks fine and dandy, it's really not. It's really not. And so we're here to just be transparent with each other. We're here to be real ass people. Because, sometimes life is fucking hard and I want to cry and scream in my fucking car. And I'm like, what the hell? But I take a deep breath and I try to rechannel myself. And that's what we can do. But listen, so a little bit about me that you don't get off my social medias. Well, of course, everyone knows I'm from the Bronx because I'm a diehard Giants fan. And I'm going to stay a Giants fan no matter how many times we suck. But, side note, I am from the Bronx, New York. I'm a mixed girl, so my mom's Puerto Rican, my dad is African American and white. So trying to figure out where I fit culturally was also something that I struggled with growing up. And then coming from a household that was full of domestic abuse, physical and verbal abuse, I really didn't have a safe place growing up. I really didn't have a voice. And it wasn't until going to military school and moving to PA, I was able to put certain pieces together. But college really brought it all together when I started going to psychology and sociology classes and understanding my life. And I was just like, whoa, this was far from normal. I have a couple of questions that I wanted to answer for you guys, and bear with me because there was a lot, so I may not get to all of them, but I'm going to try to give you guys a little glimpse of who I am the best way possible. I like this one. This is a happy one. What was your favorite activity growing up? Anything outside. And I'm kind of that person now. I like to go hiking. Camping was my favorite thing growing up. I love camping in the wilderness, letting my imagination take control, and then just letting go. Because growing up in the city, it was just very fast, very noisy. When we went far away, to the beach or camping or just out in nature, all that just shuts off. And that's why I'm I have love for the city, but I don't think I can move back. I want a ranch with horses and just land around me where I could just walk for hours and get lost on my own property. Will that ever happen? We don't know. But I just recently found out horses are not really that expensive, so let's see, But yes, anything outside. Take me outside in the wilderness. I'm your girl. It says, how did your family influence you the most? Okay, so no shade. My family has influenced me the most to be different. I can't say that any other type of way without throwing shade. So I don't want to throw any shade. But honestly, I saw what I didn't like. I saw certain patterns in certain people's lives that I'm I can't get with that. I don't think that's for me. And so I took the aspects of what I couldn't live with, and I tried to work hard to not be like them. And that doesn't make me better because, like I said, no judgment. But you are your choices. And so the certain choices that you make will reflect in your actions and in your lifestyle. And I've seen that way too much in people's lives where I'm we got to think smarter. We got to work smarter. All right. Another question was, did you choose your partner based on the type of person you wanted for your kids? Absolutely. I mean, I think that's the goal. The goal is to find someone that you wouldn't mind raising your children. Like, let's say if I get hit by a car or something, God forbid, happens to me tomorrow, I know my kids are going to be good. Like, I know that their father, after he's done mourning me, because I mean, I'm the best thing that happened to him, he's going to take his role and he's going to do right by those kids. And see, that's why growing up, I was very strategic about dating. I was just like, okay, this person has nothing going for themselves. If I accidentally get pregnant by this person, can they give me the life that I envision for myself? Nope, then I'm not even going to risk that. And listen, they may be cute or whatever, but we got to look further into what's going on. Okay, one of my questions was for my book. One of my readers, they said you often talked about how you didn't have a great relationship with your parents growing up. Has that changed? Well, that's going to be talked about in one of our segments for sure. But I would just say that for a person of who I am at this point, I just don't have the time for people to bring me down. Honestly, it all comes down to mutual respect and people respecting you. What inspired you to write? Now, I like this one. When I was in high school, I was not really, I didn't really have a great home environment to go to. And so that was a little toxic. And then sometimes in high school would be toxic. And so one of my counselors decided, you should enroll in school therapy. And I did. And they were like, you have this way of expressing your feelings. Maybe you should write it down. And so back in 2009, I was introduced to writing my feelings down through therapy. And ever since then, it's just flowed on paper. Whenever I get upset, whenever I feel overwhelmed, I have to write it down first. And then I come back and I'm like, okay, that's how I was feeling. But sometimes it comes out in such figurative vomit. Like, I decided to share. Another question that was asked was your career influenced by the way you grew up? Honestly, I walked into college not knowing anything. Everyone was like, you need to go to college or you're going to be a bum. You need to do this. And I didn't have the type of parents that went to college or kind of guided me through. So I told my academic advisor, I was like, I want to help people. I want people to feel like someone cares, because 9 times out of 10, I didn't have that until military school. Like, I didn't have someone that actually wanted to listen to my issues or care that I was even going through anything. And she was like, I got something for you. And I started off in behavioral health, and then it went to social work, and now I'm in special education because I just love helping people. It's a broad spectrum. So yes, it definitely did. Yes. Once I took my first psychology class, I started to understand myself in so many different ways. And they tell you when you're taking psychology, social work, sociology, a lot of it applies to yourself first. Because how can you help people if you can't help yourself? And so they make you break down every single wall of yourself. And you're like, okay, this is why I do this. This is why I did this. This is my defense mechanism. And now you're like, okay, it's a broad spectrum. Like, it is wild once you break that barrier in your mind and you see, like, everyone has a fucking sad story. But, like, what you do with it is what makes you you. Keep that in mind, because we're going to touch back on that. My moral of the story with this podcast is just because we have different upbringings, just because life wasn't fine and dandy and we've made some mistakes or things have happened to us that's out of our control, does not mean that we don't have the choices to change that. Doesn't mean that because we're not living and breathing that we have to stay the same or we have to just take what's given to us. You can change. It works if you work it. It's all about you. It's all about what you want out of life. And I'm here to let you know, like, speak your truth. Speak your damn life story. Come and talk some shit with us. Come and laugh. Come and cry. There's so many people always in my DMs. There's people that read my books. There's people that always reach out. They're like, thank you for talking to me. And so people are like, I wish there was a way that we can talk, that we can connect on a different base. And I said, you know what? Maybe this podcast can be it. Maybe this podcast can reach out to people and people can come on and talk about their life and be able to get feedback from other people. Now, will it all be positive? No, because we do some dumb shit sometimes. But
We're holding people accountable in 2025, okay? You did it, you bought it, you got it.
Like I said, I'm a versatile person. I write. I love to go out. I'm a mom. I'm going to school. I'm a teacher. So it's just like I'm everywhere at once. But this is a platform where I can connect to everyone and all types of people. Again, thank you guys for sitting through this video and understanding a little bit about me and why I have a passion to help other people and why I started this podcast. The next few episodes, I'm going to have special guests come on and we're going to talk about some real life stuff. And I appreciate you guys letting us be transparent ahead of time and letting us be able to talk our shit, because that's what it's all about. And if you want to be on this podcast, please DM me. Follow me on A.M.A.N.D.A_ between every letter on Instagram. And I'm also on TikTok, Mind of A.M.A.N.D.A. Please. I'm trying to find a way to help my people help themselves, because this can't be what life has to offer. We got to make it to the tippy top. And what better way than to do it together? I love you guys. Stay tuned for the next episode.